Hello, Assalamu alaikum, my dear students. How are you all? I hope all of you fine by the grace of Almighty Allah. I am also fine. I am Hafiza Khatun Konika, senior teacher of Milestone School and College, Sector 4 branch, Uttara, Dhaka. Today, I will take your science class. So, dear students, from today's class, you will learn a lot of information. So please, before starting your class, take your copy, pen and book, okay? So that you can write the important information quickly, okay? Today, I will give my lecture on chapter 8, lesson from 10 to 12, and this is lecture number 17, and today's topics is making crystals of salt from saline water and producing pure water from the saline water. So students, let's start for today's class. Dear students, you know that every class is related with each other. So, before starting today's lecture, I want to discuss your previous lecture. So, from your previous lecture, you learned about universal solvent. You also learned about homogeneous mixture and heterogeneous mixture. Now I will discuss on universal solvent. I think already you know about it, but still I want to discuss on these topics. Universal solvent is such a solvent which is able to dissolve all kind of substances. So what do you think? Is it possible to get such type of solvent in reality? It perhaps is not. But the only solvent that can dissolve many kinds of substances in our well-known water. That is, water is the only universal solvent found so far. Water can dissolve innumerable inorganic substances except calcium carbonate, that means CaCO3, and silica, etc. It can dissolve many organic substances too, like spirit, acetone, acetic acid, and it can also dissolve gaseous substances too. Students, now I will show you an activity for your better understanding, okay?
First of all, we have to take two glasses marked A and B. Then we have to fill each of them to about half with water and a spoonful of common salt. Then add a spoonful of sand and glass B stirrer within both the glasses. What do you observe? Sand settles down at the bottom of glass B. Salt gets dissolved. Solid like sugar, alum, baking soda, washing soda, and ink tablets are soluble in water. Solids like chalk powder, cool turn, but powder iron pitches and last pitches do not dissolve in water.
Students, now I will tell you about homogeneous mixture and heterogeneous mixture.
Firstly, let me quickly tell you about concept of mixture. Well, when two or more substances combine together physically, it is known as a mixture. For example, when sugar plus water is combined together, we will get a mixture. When you mix different vegetables to form salad, you get a mixture. Similarly, when you put small pebbles in sand into the water, you get mixture. Just remember that when two or more substances combined together physically, we get a mixture. Also remember that there are two types of mixture: homogeneous mixture and heterogeneous mixture. Now, what is homogeneous mixture? Well, the word homo means same. Thus, a mixture which has uniform composition throughout its mass is called homogeneous mixture. By uniform composition, we mean that you cannot see or observe the particles of a homogeneous mixture with naked eye. The example of homogeneous mixture is when you mix table salt plus water, you get a homogeneous mixture. Remember that you cannot spot out see the particle of salt and water, and we therefore call it a homogeneous mixture. The second example of homogeneous mixture is air. We know that air is made up of different gases like oxygen, nitrogen, and carbon dioxide. Air is a homogeneous mixture because all these gases are combined together physically in such a way that they form a uniform composition throughout, and we cannot see the particles of these gases. One last example of homogeneous mixture is alcohol. It has also uniform composition throughout its mass, and we therefore call it a homogeneous mixture. Now, what is heterogeneous mixture? A mixture which has non-uniform composition throughout its mass is known as a heterogeneous mixture. By non-uniform composition, we mean that we see the particles of substances within the two genus mixture with net. That is the best example of heterogeneous mixture is salad. When you mix different vegetables physically, you get salad. Secondly, you can easily recognize the ingredients of salad. The second example of heterogeneous mixture is oil plus water. When you put some oil into water, it is known as a heterogeneous mixture. Secondly, you can recognize the layer of oil above the water. The third example of heterogeneous mixture is when you put small pebbles are sent into the water. It is called as heterogeneous mixture. You can easily spot out the sand and water and a dust. Remember that when we observe, you will see you the particles of different substances within the mixture. We call it a heterogeneous mixture. Finally, let me tell you difference between homogeneous mixture and heterogeneous mixture. Uniform composition throughout its mass, while heterogeneous mixture has non-uniform composition throughout its mass. Secondly, an homogeneous mixture there is no visible boundary of separation, while in heterogeneous mixture there is visible boundary of separation.
My dear students, now it's time to take feedback from you. Now I will ask you some questions. Students who can give me the answer is really very good, but who can't, no problem. Miss will give you the answer also. Okay? So, here you can see question number 1. What is universal solvent? A universal solvent is a substance that dissolves most chemicals. What I said? Universal solvent is a substance that dissolves most chemicals. Do you want to know an example of universal solvent? Water, right? Water is called the universal solvent. Now question number 2. Why water is called universal solvent? Water is called the universal solvent because it is capable of dissolving more substances than any other liquid. For this reason, water is called universal solvent. Question number 3. What is homogeneous mixture? A homogeneous mixture is a mixture in which the composition is uniform throughout the mixture. The salt water described above is homogeneous because the dissolved salt is evenly distributed throughout the entire salt water sample. One characteristic of these mixtures is that they can separate it into their components. Then next question. Question number 4. Write some example of homogeneous mixture. Dear student, here you can see some example of homogeneous mixture. Sea water, wine, vinegar, steel, brush and air. What is heterogeneous mixture? A heterogeneous mixture consists of visibly different substances or phases. The three phases or states of matter are gas, liquid or solid. So students, now I think all of you cleared about previous lessons. Now I will start today's lecture, okay? Students, from today's class you will learn how to make the crystals of salt and pure water from saline water. Then you will learn about differentiate between solutions, colloid and suspensions. Then you will learn how can we explain the role of solutions, colloids and suspensions in our daily life. And then after watching this video, you can realize the use of solutions and suspensions in our life. Then you will able to learn about use the instruments and accessories in experimental works properly. So let's start for today's class, okay? First of all, I want to discuss on these topics that how can we make the crystals of salt and pure water from saline water. So let's start.
For making crystals of salt from saline water, you need 2 beakers, spoon, stirrer, tripod stand, wire net, funnel, spirit lamp, filter paper, stand with ring, some impure salt and water. Now I will tell you procedure. First of all, you have to make a mixture of taking 200 milliliter water and 50 gram impurities salt in a beaker. Then you have to make a salt water solution with pure saline water by filtration. Then you have to take saline water in a beaker, keep it on the wire net over the tripod stand and continue to apply heat with the help of a burning spirit lamp. When the saline water in the beaker reduces to half of its volume due to heat, then you have to stop heating. After this, cover the beaker and leave it to cool down. After the cooling down of the beaker, do you see any changes? The grains of salt begin to accumulate on the bottom or wall of the beaker. These grains are the crystals of the salt. This process of making the crystals of the salt is called crystallization, okay? Sometime to get crystals from the saline water, a few salt grains are to be added in it from outside. Add this granulated salt accumulate quickly surrounding the added salt, and thus we will get crystals of salt from saline water. And here you can see this crystal, okay? Dear students, now I will tell you how can you produce pure water from saline water. To produce pure water from the saline water or any other mixture, the easiest way is distillation process. Okay, this process requires a distillation apparatus, and here you can see the distillation apparatus. There will be a receiving flask in the left side of the apparatus to keep the saline water required for the experiment. A condenser is connected with it, in which a narrow glass tube is placed inside. To flow cold water on all sides of the tube, there is an inlet tube and an outlet tube. Again, on the right side there is another spherical flask to collect the pure water. Moreover, to apply heat on the water, there is an electric heater. There is a glass-made adapter on the left side flask to set a thermometer over it in order to measure the temperature and to connect with the condenser. Also, to hold both the flask and condenser in correct position, there are stands and clamps. Now I will tell you how the distillation apparatus functions. Okay, dear students, you are already familiar with distillation apparatus. Now, for producing pure water from saline water, you need 500 milliliter of saline water and also distillation apparatus. Now, I will tell you procedure. First of all, like this figure, you have to place one distillation apparatus, and then you have to take saline water in the receiving flask. Here you can see a round bottomed part. From this part you have to take saline water, okay, in the receiving flask. Then you have to connect the inlet tube of the apparatus with a water tap, and then you have to open it to flow water. Then you have to connect a plastic pipe with the outlet tube and keep it in the basin. Then continue to apply heat by electric heater. If you have no electric heater system, then no problem. You can give heat can be applied by a spirit lamp or any other way, no problem. Okay. Then you have to observe the temperature in the thermometer of the apparatus. When the collection of vaporized water through the narrow tube of the condenser in the spherical flask begins, start wetting. Then when the amount of saline water in the spherical flask is reduced by 3 or 4th portion, then you should stop heating. When so after applying heat, what happens? What do you think? The temperature of the thermometer increases slowly, and at 100 degrees Celsius the water begins to boil and converts to steam. That steam, when enters into the condenser, then converts into liquid, and this process of converting steam, that means vapor, into liquid is called condensation. The condensed water continues to accumulate in the acceptor flask in drops. This collected water is the pure water. Hence we see that to make pure water from any mixture of water, we are to apply two processes. One of these is vaporization and the other one is condensation. Dear students, now I will tell you about solutions, suspensions and colloid. So let's start. What is a solution? It is the homogeneous mixture of a solute in a solvent. Solvent, the substance in which a solute dissolves. Solute, the substance that dissolves in a solvent. Solvent is the substance that is present in the greatest amount. Both solute and solvent can be a gas, a liquid, or a solid. Now I will tell you a activity. Mix a spoonful of salt in water and dissolve it here. Salt is a solute here and water is the solvent. On dissolving, you will observe that a clear solution is formed and there are salt particles to be seen. The salt solution thus formed is a homogeneous mixture. What is a suspension? A suspension is a mixture of water. Takes on water in a glass and add a spoonful of vegetable oil. You will notice that no matter how much try, the oil does not dissolve on standing. You will see that oil separates and settles at the bottom. Such characteristics are that of a suspension. What is a colloid? A colloid is a solution in which the substance remains dispersed and does not settle at the bottom. It consists of two components, dispersion medium and dispersion phase. Here is a list of different types of colloids that are formed due to different types of dispersion, phase and medium. Now I will tell you an activity. Take a spoonful of flour and mix with water and allow it to stand. Now drain the water. You will notice that after draining there are still few particles suspended in the solution.
Dear students, I think all of you enjoyed today's lecture. For your better understanding, now I will show you a video. Please watch this video, okay?
Firstly, let me teach you that what is a solution. Well, a solution is a homogeneous mixture of two or more substances. So all homogeneous mixtures are solutions. Let me repeat it. Salt and the water, you get a solution. This is also an example of true solution. And this salt solution, water has completely dissolved the particles of salt. Here, let me ask you, can you spot the particles of salt and water in this mixture? Well, you cannot spot the particles of salt and water in this mixture, because both the salt and water particles are mixed in such a way that they form a uniform composition or homogeneous composition. Some other examples of solution are air, alcohol plus water, and vinegar. In air, different gases mix together to form a homogeneous mixture. Alcohol plus water mix together in such a way that they form a uniform composition or homogeneous composition. In vinegar, acetic acid is dissolved in water and they also form a uniform composition or homogeneous composition. Thus remember that a mixture is said to be a solution if its particles forms a homogeneous composition. Secondly, in a solution, the particles are so small that we cannot spot them with naked eye. Now, what is suspension? Well, a suspension is a heterogeneous mixture of undissolved particles in a given medium. So, all heterogeneous mixtures are suspensions. Let me repeat it. All heterogeneous mixtures are suspensions. For example, when we add mud or sand in the water, we get a suspension. Sand and water forms a non-uniform composition or heterogeneous composition. Because if we left sand plus water for some time, sand settled down at the bottom and a clear layer of water appears at the top. We can spot large particles of sand and water with naked eye and it. So it is a heterogeneous mixture or suspension. Some other examples of suspension are oil plus water, tea, and dust particles in air. In oil plus water, we can spot the layer of oil and the layer of water. In tea, we can spot small particles of tea and a column of liquid, while we can also spot the dust particles in air. Just remember that a suspension is a heterogeneous mixture in which particles are large enough and can be seen with naked eye. Secondly, if suspension is left for some time, large or undissolved particles settle down at the bottom due to gravity. Let me repeat it. If suspension is left for some time, large or undissolved particles settle down at the bottom due to gravity. Now, what is a colloid? A colloid is intermediate state between a solution and suspension. For example, consider some milk. We know that milk contains globes of butterfat suspended throughout the liquid. So milk is a colloid because the particles of milk are intermediate in size between those of a solution and suspension. Even if a colloid or milk is allowed to stand for some time, the particles of colloid or milk will not settle down. Some other examples of colloids are butter, jelly, ink, and all these colloids particles are small and suspended throughout the medium. Secondly, these particles of colloid will not settle down at the bottom even if they stand for some time. Until now, we learned that a solution is a homogeneous mixture which forms a uniform composition and we cannot spot the particles in it, like salt solution. Secondly, we learn that a suspension is a heterogeneous mixture which forms a non-uniform composition and we can spot the undissolved particles in it. Also, if suspension is allowed to stand for some time, its big particles will settle down at the bottom due to gravity. For example, sand plus water forms a suspension. While we also learn that the intermediate state of a solution and suspension is a colloid. The particles in a colloid are larger than those of a solution and smaller than those of a suspension. If a colloid is allowed to stand for some time, its particles will not settle down at the bottom. For example, milk is a colloid. Finally, let me teach you the difference between solution, colloid, and suspension. A solution is a homogeneous mixture, a colloid is a heterogeneous mixture, and a suspension is also a heterogeneous mixture. Secondly, in solution, the size of particles is from 0.01 up to 1 nanometer. In colloid, the size of particles is from 1 up to 1000 nanometer. In suspension, the size of particles is larger than 1000 nanometer. Thirdly, the particles of a solution do not separate on standing. Also, the particles of a colloid do not separate on standing, while the particles of a suspension separate on standing. Fourthly, the particles of a solution cannot be separated by filtration. Also, the particles of a colloid cannot be separated by filtration, while the particles of a suspension can be separated by filtration.
Students, now it's time to give you some related question. Here you can see some question. Question number 1, what is solution? Question number 2, what is suspension? And question number 3, what is colloid? And then last one, question number 4, how can we make crystal of salt from saline water? And now here you can see your homework. This is homework number 9. Here you can see a question. How can we make crystal of salt from saline water? Explain with an experiment. I always discuss these topics on my lecture. So I think now all of you can write the answer of this question. So please learn and write this question. And this is your homework, okay? Thank you so much for joining. See you soon. Till then, stay home, be safe. Allah Hafiz and Assalamu Alaikum.